Welcome to my channel, everyone. This is Lifestyle Gardener. I'm going to show you how to make shelf-stable orange juice. So stay tuned as I show you the process. So I bought 2 bottles of orange juice that was on sale the other day, and my husband drank a little bit out of one of the bottle of orange juice. So I'm going to can the rest of the orange juice. So I shake it a little bit just to mix it up some more. I washed the glass bottles with soap and water. If you want to do an extra process of sterilizing the bottles, you can also do that also. I started to pour the orange juice using the funnel on top of the bottles. Then I went and get a chopstick to debubble the orange juice, because they recommend anything that you make with liquid to always use something to debubble the liquid before canning it. I started to put the lids and the rim on top of the bottles, but I completely forgot that I need to wipe down the top of the bottles first before doing that. So in the end, I removed the lids and the rim, and I did that afterwards. The number one way to save money on groceries is to buy stuff when they're on sale, so you don't need to pay the full price. And when you buy them on sale, you make sure you at least buy more than one items. And if you have more than what you need, you can preserve some for a rainy day, and you save money that way. I remember last week I went into the grocery store. I saw a pack of chicken that was normally $10.99. It's now $24.99, that same size chicken. So when you preserve your food or you do canning, you save a lot of money, because the food that you buy a few months ago and preserve, if they raise the price on that, you don't have to buy it because you already bought it when the price is already cheaper. But very important information: make sure the orange juice is the same temperature as the water that you're going to put in the canner. I let my orange juice goes to room temperature before I put it on the stove. If it's cold and you want to process it right away, you have to pour the orange juice in a pan and warm it up so that the bottles won't break when you're trying to process it. Because if it's too cold or too hot, the temperature is too different from each other, that can cause the bottles to break when you're processing them. So after I fill all of the bottles, I had this amount of orange juice leave at the bottom. I didn't show you on camera, but I filled all of the bottles little by little with the rest of the orange juice that was in the bottle. So now I'm going to wipe down the top of the bottles with the vinegar and paper towel. So next I get the lids and the rim and I cover the bottles with them. So next, after doing this, I decided to use the steam canner that I have to process the orange juice. If you don't have a steam canner, that is okay. All you have to do, if you don't have a water bath canner, is to get the largest pan that you have. You could put a towel, or you can use the rims that you see me having using on top of the lids by tying them together, and then you can put it inside the pot, and then you put the bottles on top of it. Then you fill the pot with water at least 3 inches above the bottles, and then you turn on the stove, let it come to a boil, and when it is boiling enough, you set your timer and process them for 15 minutes. So I started to take the bottles and I put them in my steam canner. I fill the steam canner with water, just a little bit above, a little bit underneath the lids that is in the steam canner, and I make sure I put some vinegar inside the water so that it doesn't leave any hard water residue on the bottles or in the steam canner. Make sure you do that too with any other pot or pan that you're going to use to do water bathing. You put a little bit of vinegar in the water. That will help it to be more easier to clean off the bottles and clean the pan out. So now I'm gonna cover it up, and I'm going to turn on the stove. I turn on the stove up to 8. So this is what the lids look like on top of the steam canner. It shows you the different kind of zone and what their numbers are. My zone is zone 1, so I am going to aim to process them when it goes to my zone, which is the dark green color. So once it reaches that color, I'm going to turn down the stove down to 6, and then I will turn on my timer and process them for 15 minutes. According to the steam canner guide, I have to leave the bottles in the canner for another 5 minutes after turning off the stove, and then after 5 minutes then I can remove them. So that's what I did. Well, 15 minutes is up, so I can never remember what this tool is, but it's very handy to remove the bottles from the canner. So I taken them and I'm removing the bottles from the canner. This way I don't need to use gloves to remove it. But if you don't have this tool, make sure you wear gloves, and wear gloves so that you don't get burned to remove them. Always use a fabric or some sort of old towel that you don't need anymore, and put it on the counter or on the table, wherever you're going to put the bottles, so that it doesn't burn the surface, and the temperature different from the counter won't affect the bottles. I do not know why, but sometimes when I remove the bottles, the rim get a little bit loose afterwards. So I always retighten the lids, the rim on the bottles, just to make sure it process it, just to make sure it seals properly. So this is what they look like after I take them out. These three here, I need to steam can them separate because they couldn't fit in the canner. But all of these here, they fit in the canner. So now I'm going to wash them with a little bit of soap and water, and I will air dry them, and then I will label them what it is and put the date on it, and I will be able to have shelf-stable orange juice anytime I want to make orange chicken, or to make use it in recipes that calls for orange juice in it. Like, I know they have some sort of cake that you have to, cake or muffin that you have to use orange juice, and every time I said I'm gonna try to make that, I always don't have orange juice because I don't normally buy orange juice. We don't normally drink orange juice because I prefer to just eat the fruits, and you would have to juice a lot of fruits in order to get enough orange juice, so I don't buy it for that reason. But I'm going to make it a tradition to always have orange juice on hand to use in when I bake a cake or bake something or cook something that calls for orange juice in it. So there you go, you guys, you should do this. I found 3 things that's very handy to always have: lemon concentrate or lemons or lime, and also orange juice. Those 3 things, it's good to always have it for when you want to make a special kind of recipe. Okay guys, I'll talk to you another day. Bye.